Welcome to Romance Recs. We're three romance-obsessed besties sharing book recs broken down by genres and tropes, so you can be sure you're getting exactly what you want out of your next read. I'm Christina. I am currently I just started listening to The Ritual by Chantel Tessier.
Nice. I'm Jordan, and I am currently listening to Bewitched by Laura Thalassa.
Hey guys, Dev here, and I am currently listening to Miss V's Hot Girl Summer. I'm really excited about that. By A.H. Cunningham.
Yay! So buckle up for some bookish banter.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
That's I was like, wait, I freaked. I was like, am I supposed to say the buckle up? No.
Don't take that from Christina. Don't take it from Christina.
Never. Yeah. Oh man.
Hey guys.
Hi guys.
What are we talking about?
Oh, my favorite. I am so happy about that.
Jordan's
I wish y'all could see the looks that they're giving me. Yeah, especially Jordan's face. She's okay. Let's just get through this episode. But I'm very excited that we are diving into pregnancy trope. Round of applause. Yay!
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
which is crazy.
So fun.
It's so crazy because we've all been pregnant. We're moms.
We are.
I know.
Have all grown things in our uteruses. And
yeah.
You know, what's also crazy though, we are also 3 C-section moms. We've all
that's wild.
Gotten that wonderful experience.
It was so wonderful.
Shout out to all you moms who've powered through that C-section because
it's crazy.
And all moms in general.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super excited about pregnancy trope because it really is like one of my favorite tropes and I have no idea why. Well, I do have an idea why. I think it's when like
so for real
man,
right now.
Yeah. When the man just goes so psychotic and like super like protective and I don't know, all the like pregnancy things that they bring up, I'm always shocked. Wait, did that happen? Oh, is a 20-week appointment this? Oh, when you're this, that I love like just reading about it and reflecting on none of the things I remember from my pregnancy. But yeah, it just makes me feel all giddy.
It's primal, right? That when the man goes, that's the ultimate primal man, like
right, like alpha male,
pregnant. Oh,
yeah.
I think reading these books, I found out I'm more into the breeding kink than the pregnancy itself. That's what I realized.
I almost choked on my hot coffee. I mean, my hot tea. You are not wrong, because not every pregnancy trope book has that, but the ones that do, good God. I mean, wow.
Okay, yeah. So, different strokes for different folks, and
literally,
we're all different.
They be stroking.
So before we get too far into that, I did choose a quote related to our topic today. So my quote is from Unexpected Delivery by Gillian West. Labor is brutal. Why hasn't nature come up with a more convenient way of delivering babies by now? Where the fuck is the evolution where you need it?
Ooh, good point.
Yeah, I love that. Very on brand. Mm-hmm. Very cute. Yeah, true. I have a quote from one of the books that I'm going to be recking. And I don't know. Again, this is all about the man just like knowing that connection or whatever. But in this book, which is Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, he is not the daddy. Anyway, he blinks down at me, a slow expression filled with a depth that only decades of knowing someone can give you. This here is a man who knows me, and I feel known. So sweet and sappy, which that entire book is, honestly, truly. I can't wait to talk about it. But yeah, that was just like a moment for me.
I also picked a quote from a book I'm recommending today, and it also has to do with birth. So Jordan, you and I, samesies. Okay, this is from Hoarded by the Dragon by Lillian Lark. And
sorry.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely about the breeding.
Hey, it's his pregnancy, right? Okay, anywho. The dragon says, in all the wars and bloodshed I've seen in my life, nothing is as primal and vicious as birth. And I was like, that's right.
Yeah, I actually do love that quote. That's really nice. Coming from a dragon. Yeah, it's crazy. That's what.
Hey, we didn't say it had to be
I love
human
that.
pregnancy.
True. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, Jordan's just get this episode over with.
No, okay,
please.
okay, here's the thing before we really get into it. Yeah, okay, so it's because I have my own trauma from birth. Okay, I have my own trauma. Honestly, my whole pregnancy was a fucking nightmare. Like, I was sick every day. Every single day. These people that are like, just wait till you get to the second trimester. Oh, wait till you feel so horny. Wait till you feel this. Wait till you feel that. I felt nothing but nauseous and pain. And I ended up with preeclampsia and then eclampsia. My organs stopped working. Like, it was.
Yeah.
Look, I love my child. And I'm so glad I have her. And I'm also very thankful for modern medicine because we would not be here without it. So to me, there just comes with a lot of feels. And I understand this is also a very hotly debated trope. Like, people love it or they hate it.
Yeah.
And there's no medium.
There's no medium with pregnancy trope.
I think I found the medium. But I'll talk about that with my Rex. I'm not gonna, but I won't kick us off because I'm not a good representation for that.
I think the pregnancy lover should do it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you ain't got to tell me. So I am going to start with, I have so many choices. I'm going to start with the sweet one since I just talked about this in my quote. Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. It follows Eve and Shep. Eve is kind of like trying to figure her life out, doesn't really have an idea of what she's doing, but like, she's just a girl trying to figure her life out in the city of Brooklyn, okay? She lives pretty close to her best friend, Willa, who is Shep's sister. And they have this really great bond, but it's like as soon as Eve tells Willa that she's pregnant, which, by the way, was like a one-night stand. Like, Eve decides to let her hair down and ends up pregnant. Could you imagine living by the rules, doing everything perfect, and then you decide, I'm gonna go have some fun, and you literally get pregnant? Well, that's what happens to her. Yeah. So she tells Willa, and it's not super receptive. So she's pregnant. Her best friend is like not ghosting her, but just not the support system she needed while she has no one else in her corner. Like, Willa is her person. So Shep steps up. The baby daddy eventually finds out about this baby. She doesn't keep it from him. He's like supportive, but also he gives weird vibes. I'm not going to go too much into him. Anyway, so yeah, really the 9 months, we follow Eve's pregnancy for 9 months, and it just follows her going through the ups and downs of pregnancy, like the cute little fun facts and stuff, but also navigating life and this new life she's about to bring into her, like super chaotic, super dysfunctional at this point, doesn't have a baby daddy, but you have this man it's always been you for Shep. So yeah, it's like always been her. And then like they dive into that, which is really beautiful. It's like really cute friends to lovers as well. Yeah.
Will we see this again in a couple episodes? Or
you might. Yes, I might be bringing this right back up. So
perfect.
And I do think it's one of those books where you read it and you might cry after you, like, during it or after. Yeah, it's really one of those hits you in the feels, makes your chest hurt, makes you uncomfortable kind of books. But it was so sweet. Oh my gosh. And Cara has a way with writing her characters too that is so well thought out. So I definitely recommend. I'm pretty sure I gave this 4 or 5 stars on Goodreads. If you're into the star thing, I rated it pretty highly. So yeah, Ready or Not, Cara Bastone.
Ready or not, here I go.
I'll go next. Thank you for the music.
Yeah.
Okay. My first recommendation is actually an AO3 fanfic. This one is called The Mechanic by Dayton Bay. This story is a fanfic about who else? Ray and Kylo Ren. Those are my favorites. It's always
no way.
What?
Shocking, babe.
Ray, this takes place in the UK. Ray is a mechanic in London. She's poor, but she works hard. She's, gritty, working through her stuff, doing what she can. She happens to fix a car for a very nice older woman who invites her to her hotel for a car show that evening. And Ray owns like 2 dresses. So she puts on her nicer of the 2 dresses. And because, she's just poor, working hard, but I'm going to go out on the town and get the free alcohol and snacks at this hotel, And so she's just sitting there waiting by the door where the people come through with the tray so she can grab the munchies and fill up her bag and stuff. She's just living her best life. And anywho, she meets the woman who she fixed the car for. She doesn't know it yet, but this lady is like higher ups in the mafia, right? And so she's, here are some of my associates. And one of them is tall, dark, and handsome, brooding Kylo Ren.
That is so funny.
I know. And so they just drink and hang out all night. And then one thing leads to another. And Kylo invites Rey up to his hotel room. And she's, fuck it. I'm just a girl. I might as well enjoy my night off, right?
See? You see how it happens? We just want to be a girl. And next thing you know, we're pregnant.
Damn it.
I'm just a girl.
Slippery slope there.
So slippery.
Literally.
Jail for you both.
There's going to be a lot of jail time tonight. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I see it.
So Rey and Kylo Ren have this amazing night, and she doesn't think anything of it. She like literally even charges the room for breakfast in the morning, and she doesn't care, and she leaves. And she gets back, and she's just doing her mechanic stuff, and then she thinks she has a bout of the flu, as we all might do.
Yeah.
And anywho, she finds out it's not the flu. But I did find out a lot about the NHS handling pregnancy in this book, and I'm like, what is wrong with us? Because they're just like, here's all this stuff and it's free and here's your care and yada. And I'm like, anywho, fuck America, but
right.
That again.
Love that.
So Rey wants to go tell Kylo, but she's really like nervous, scared. Finally, she works up the courage to go tell him, but he doesn't believe her at first. Like he thinks she's after the money because she found out he's high in the mafia, and is after money. She literally has no knowledge about this. So anywho, she decides he's not going to believe me, whatever. I'm just going to go spend my measly like 20 pounds I have from my poor ass job to go get some food. So she's like literally just buying canned food. It's all she can afford. And Kylo Ren finds her there and realizes that she's not in it for the money. She really just needs help for her and the baby. And so he starts to take care of her and invites her to live for the pregnancy in his home. And he's in this big mansion and she's just living this wonderful life pregnant. And I just love this fan fiction. It's 38 chapters. It has one of my favorite scenes of all time. I read this fanfic 3 years ago, and this scene still pops up in my head from time to time. Oh, it's the perfect book. It's perfect.
I love that.
I love when scenes stay with you like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that makes it's so special. You know it then.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, he has to kill someone who looks at her. So I just love that.
Oh, we love that. That is so sweet. That's so sweet.
And we see her with her baby as the baby gets older, a few years older and stuff. So it's just great. It travels through them, and you would just see their relationship grow. So I love that about them.
Oh.
And I love that you're giving us the AO3.
Right.
I know. There's some amazing stuff on there.
Yeah.
Give it a
Obviously.
shot.
This stays with you for 3 years.
Right.
Yeah, must. Okay, I'm going to start with my first, believe this was my first pregnancy trope run-in, if you will. I mentioned it briefly in our sports romance episode, I believe. It's book 2 in the Vancouver Agitators series by Megan Quinn. It's called Those Three Little Words. And I actually enjoyed it. Knowing the tropes going in, I didn't think I would, but I did. So this one follows one of the players, Eli Hornsby. He is a horn dog. He is one of the players of the team.
Not Hornsby the horn dog, like
I know.
Megan.
That's me. No, I called him the horn dog. But his best friend is on the team, whose name is Pacey. Okay. And Pacey's sister's name is Penny. There's lots of P's in this book. Just hang on. Penny's the only one we need to know. So they happen to be out at the same time, run into each other at this bar. And I believe it's one of their birthdays or something like that. I don't remember the occasion, but he was alone. She was with a friend and her friend left. And they ended up just talking and then drinking. And then they fall into bed together, right? It's a one night stand. because
always-
she knows how he is. She knows him. This is her brother's best friend. He is a famous player, right? Hockey player, and on and off the ice. And she just needs to get off for a night, okay? And she knew he could do it. He could deliver.
Right.
And 9 months later, she delivered. So, but the funny thing is she decides to inform him. She sits both him and her brother down at the same time and is like,
brave.
All right, just going to get this all out in the open. I'm pregnant. And it's Eli's. As you were. And then she like leaves the office. Like,
dropped the bomb and left.
But Eli's like, well, of course I'm going to be there for her. So they're still not together, right? But there's something wrong with some kind of apartments or whatever. They end up living together. And it's a 1-bed situation, forced proximity because there's only 1 bedroom. It's this whole thing. And so, of course, he's taking care of her through all these pregnancy symptoms and all the cravings. And like somewhere in the midst of all that, they catch some feelings, right? And it's just the way they do that and tease each other, because Penny is an extremely sassy character and she's a spitfire. And he's a smooth talker playboy who's now trying to like be a daddy and be a baby daddy at home. And you're crying. I don't know what's wrong. What do I do? But he's like trying so hard. Like he's a puppy. And it was so good. And it was so funny. This is Megan Quinn at her best. So this is just really funny and really cute the way they get together. And it's really hot too. She gets that. So she gets to the point where she's smelling his clothes while he's gone because she's just so horny and she's just, oh my God.
I love that. Okay, I feel like my next rec will be funny. Well, okay. There's a lot to unpack. The next one I have is Baby Moon or Bust, and it's by Ava Hunter. And like this book wasn't I have such mixed feelings about it because I didn't think it was the greatest book, but I really laughed and had fun watching the pregnancy part of this happen. But let me set the scene. Okay. Oh, no. First of all, my first point of contention with Ava Hunter. Ava, why is her name Tessie Truelove? The main character's...
I remember this.
Yes. Do you remember how I was pissed off that her last name was Truelove? Tessie Truelove. That pissed me off from the beginning. But then the male main character's name is Solomon Wilder. Solomon! In this day and age, Wilder! And guess where he lives? Solomon Wilder lives in Alaska. The salmon references, the wild. It is just too much to bear. And like, I really did bear it. I really did because I enjoyed it. I got a little giggle, got a little laugh. Tessie is a mess. I mean, the way she tells her life story, her dog left, her daddy went out to get cigarettes and never came back. Her mama died.
This is a country song.
Tessie's life is actually a country song. But she's like a super famous, popular interior designer. You know, she's that girl in the interior designer world. They both end up somewhere in the US at the same time. And Tessie's also kind of like a raging bitch. That's what everyone knows her as that. But honestly, it's her trauma. She leads with her trauma. You just don't know it's trauma. You think it's her personality. Anyway,
maybe they end up.
Right, maybe, yeah. They end up, getting drunk, drinking whiskey. Next thing you know, they've had schmecks, and she gets pregnant. It's a one-night stand situation. They have sex
every single time. It's a one-night stand.
People talk about drinking and driving, but like drinking and sex.
Really got drinking and fucking got to stop. Babies are born that way. Like we are feeding the population when we drink. Please drink responsibly. Anyway,
with a condom.
They have this right. They have a one-night stand. She goes back to her LA life. What?
The more drunker you are, the more likely you're... Anyway.
I hate it here.
No, you don't. You love it here.
Steph, you were off on a tangent, and Jordan had her hand up for a full 3 minutes. And
I know, and she refused to look at the screen. She was looking at it, and I was like, I have a really good comment.
I'm
was
sorry.
Like,
what did you want to say? I'm taking questions.
It's the moment has kind of passed, but you were talking about their names, and I was just saying it feels like the call is coming from inside the house on this one because you keep reading books with names like this, and I feel like at some point it's not the authors, it's you choosing them. So maybe you claim to hate them and cringe, but maybe you live for this drama. And I feel like you're asking for it at this point.
I feel like this is very chicken egg conversation. What came first?
Sure,
because
but I don't run into that.
But I don't. If the authors didn't write that, this is also a trope you don't read as much. If the authors didn't write this, I would have a problem.
It's not about the trope, honey. As you have found it in other tropes.
It's very chicken, very egg. I don't know. I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong. It's giving chicken and egg. Okay, somebody came first, and it wasn't me. It was Tessie.
That's sad.
Or
you
actually,
should always
it was
come
Solomon.
First. I should always come first.
Let me tell y'all about Tessie. The people want to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Love me good.
So,
Love good.
One night stand, they go back to their respective parts of the universe, Alaska and LA, to their respective parts of the universe. And wouldn't you know, Solomon is out in Alaska just watching TV and sees Tessie on the TV with her round ass belly. He said, wait a minute. This is the girl I have not been able to find. So anyway, Tessie has planned a baby moon to get her, ready for pregnancy. Solomon ends up crashing it, and basically they give themselves 3 days to figure out if they want to parent together. A lot happens in those 3 days. Obviously, they end up falling in love, and there's definitely a lot of, oh, am I going to move to Alaska? Are you going to move to LA? Very different vibes. They find a happy medium, but yeah, the reason why...
Wait, what's the happy medium between California
Seattle,
and Alaska?
Vancouver?
She moves to Alaska.
That's not a happy medium. That's her giving it up for Alaska.
Isn't she more successful?
She has no family. Her daddy left. Is she more successful?
And I don't feel like there's a big call for her career up there. And she is very well known.
So yes and no. Her career is taking off, but everyone in the freaking business thinks she's a raging bitch. And also she's really good at her job, but she works in the most toxic environment. Like her boss is so toxic. She took the baby moon and he let her go on the baby moon, gave her the time off. And then immediately as soon as she got on the baby moon, the next day he's like, I need you back. We have this client that did not even give her the space. It is so toxic, but it's like she's fearful or something. She doesn't think she can do it herself. So I feel like the move to Alaska, she honestly needed, because again, her dog died, her daddy died, her mama died. Like it's a lot of loss in her life. She needed that family environment, and Solomon has 13 siblings or something. I don't know. He has one of those big families. So, and then she moved, basically had her practice and would come back to LA whenever she wanted. Was that a spoiler? Maybe.
I might cut.
The reason I suggested this actually is because I think it's a really quick read. And if you're in like a slump, you want something funny, and I'm not going to say nonsensical because this author isn't a nonsensical writer, but I will say it's not going to leave you in tears. You know what I'm saying? It's not Ready or Not. You're not going to be like, oh my God, the discovery. You're going to be cracking up. So I think it's a nice palate cleanser for pregnancy trope.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you. That sounds...
You're welcome.
We love it.
Yeah.
9-Month Contract by Amy Dawes. I'm going to go ahead and start with, I also didn't love this book, but I did like, it was really funny. So I did really like that. I just didn't love all the pieces of it. But it's okay. This book's about a woman named Trista who wants to be a surrogate. She tries to sign up with a reputable surrogate agency, but she's denied due to her weight. But she just happens to run into a young woman outside who's trying to find her uncle a surrogate. His name is Wyatt, and he doesn't want anything more in life but to be a dad since his dad died. He wants to be a dad and experience that, but he doesn't like relationships. So he doesn't want a wife. He just wants a baby. So he wants it, no strings attached, from a surrogate, right? The surrogacy company doesn't really like that because he doesn't have a life partner, and they're really hesitant for that. So they don't want to sign him up for one. Anywho, so now Trista and Wyatt can work together. So Trista moves on to his farm. He has this self-sustaining farm company in Boulder, Colorado. And she moves onto his farm to work and live above his barn in an apartment he built. However, it just throws Wyatt's life into craziness because she brings all these animals and he hates animals. And then also she's really super curvy and gets pregnant right away and puts off this aura of he's possessive of, that's my baby, and yada yada. He's like going feral over this woman. He wants to have her and starts thinking, maybe I do want a relationship. But she does not want a relationship, and she doesn't want a baby. She's only doing a surrogacy literally for money. That's all she wants. She wants to start up her own rescue for animals because she's big into animals and he's not. They're like the most opposite people that could live on this planet.
Yeah, I agree.
And Wyatt just starts to follow this woman around, trying to keep her out of what he suspects to be danger for her working with animals, and anything she does, he's worried her male counterparts want to fuck her, all this. Like, he's so possessive of this woman, and she's WTF because she has no family and doesn't know what any kind of real connections in life are. She only like connects with animals. So it's just really funny seeing Wyatt chase her around like a little puppy chasing after his tail. It's funny.
Yeah.
But as the series progresses, or as the book progresses, we kind of see Trista and Wyatt just decide to be fuck friends and fuck through her pregnancy to get through her cravings and his cravings. It's just funny. We see so much comedy. We see her really fall in love with Wyatt's family. They're so grateful for her and what she's doing. And she's never had anyone give her gifts. She's always been super self-sustainable. So she's like really hesitant at first to accept anything. It takes her a long time to warm up, but it's really got the found family tropes. I just really loved that. I loved the comedy because Trista is going to tell you what's on her mind every time, even if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And Wyatt is just, he's
grunting.
only led by
he's a mountain man.
Yeah, he's only led by his id. He just wants to get his dick wet, and that's it all the time.
No, I would not say that about him. I disagree. I also read 9-month Contract. Well, listen to it because Teddy Hamilton, I mean, babe. And also Erin Mallon, I can't remember the female narrator's last name, but I think her first name is Erin. They've worked together a lot, so their chemistry is like really cute. But Wyatt, I don't think he was led by his thing. I think once he realized that, I'm really attracted to her, that was his game plan. He was like, zeroed in, like we can really help each other. I think he came to the realizations that he also liked her a lot faster than she did. But yeah, like I thought it was funny. Mm-hmm. The narrators make the jokes because it's also duet, so they chime in.
Yeah.
Right. And that makes things a lot. Yeah, I think that makes things a lot funnier. So I feel like if you're gonna read it, listen to it instead. But yeah, I liked it. It wasn't my favorite, but I did enjoy it. But I will say, which actually will take me into my next rec after you, Jordan. The reason I like this book is because I've read a lot of Amy Dawes books, and this book is a spin-off of a series of hers that I've read. So there were characters that I knew about in this book already, and it was really nice to see them or hear about them again. But yeah,
that's great. I hadn't read anything else by this author, but I do know that I think each of his brothers gets a book too,
yes,
because they all live together.
Brother, right? Yeah, his oldest brother has a book his is like one of the last books in the previous series, and that's why the Fletcher brothers get their own series.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I was really curious about the older brother when I found out that his new wife was a lot younger and was the nanny.
I
was like, I gotta find out more.
That was good. And her name is Cozy. Yeah, you got that book. Actually, is that the one I'm about to talk about? No, that's
weird.
Not the one
Another weird name.
I actually think Cozy's name is real cute. I have no problems with Cozy. Her name is Cozy. She a thickie, and she's cozy.
I love that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So happy.
All right, Jordan, you're up.
I swear this is a different rec than my last one. It is another hockey romance, and it's part of a series, but this one is...
These guys know how to get to the goal.
Yeah. I mean...
Wow.
So anyways, this is book 3 of the Jacksonville Rays by Emily Rath, called Pucking Sweet. I've wrecked Emily before. I love her. Just great. I love her stuff. This one might be my favorite from the series. I still have to read the fourth one. I've read the first 3. This one follows Poppy St. James, and she is the director of public relations for the Jacksonville Rays, which are the NHL's newest team. So she's coming in first PR director of this organization. She's got to wrangle all these new guys, right? She is helping build this community, and she's trying to make this city.
She's the boss bitch.
Yeah, they call her PR Barbie. Like, all the players call her PR Barbie, and they're all terrified of her. And she's this short thing running around in heels, but she gets the job fucking done. Everyone's scared of her. Everyone. Love her. Right? And we see her get the job done in the first 2 books in the series. This book shows what Poppy's been doing behind the scenes. Or should I say, who? Because, and they've been sneaking around, not just with the team bad boy Lucas Novikov, but also with his best friend Colton Morrow.
Oh,
this is a why choose MMF. Okay. And so, like, in the other books, we know they're best friends because they've played together previously in their lives, right? So Colton and Lucas knew each other and they're good friends. We see in the previous book that they lived together for a little while, but we didn't see why. Or we kind of knew why one of them gets hurt, so they thought it was just to help out.
It's like a history, we'll call them roommates situation.
Right. Oh. But also, in the kind of the end of the last book, we see them get upset and not talk, and no one on the team knows why. And in this one, you see the behind the scenes and you see what's happening. Well, basically, back to Poppy. She knew Colton from working with him in the previous team that they worked with, right? I think it was in DC or something. And he has always had a thing for her, right? And he just secretly pines. So they've always been good friends. Right. So they've maintained a good friendship, also professional in the workplace. There's never been any crossover, but he has just had to shove down deep his feelings for her.
I love it when it goes deep.
Yeah, so deep in this book. And Poppy actually has her own history with her own family that they go uncover throughout. And it's a really big thing. If you know anything about Emily's books, there's always, I don't know, just so many layers of personal lives that she weaves together really well. That feels really realistic in a sense. But yeah, this is a pregnancy trope episode. So she keeps it hidden because she is head of PR, right?
Ooh.
And when she finds out she's pregnant and she fucked both of them separately for the first time in the same week.
What a PR scandal.
And she doesn't know whose it is.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Things get fun.
What? You know what I really love, though? I mean, okay, so...
But you see the relationship, and then she finds out a few months... Like, she finds out a little later. Like, she realizes she's pregnant. So you see their relationship grow. And there's a good chunk of the book before you get to the pregnancy part.
So are they in a polyamorous relationship?
Yeah. So yes, it is.
Okay.
And then when they find out, it's chill. Yeah. Yeah. At first, she's bouncing because she's just, she has this history with Colton, and she just has this raw magnetism with Lucas, but she's not willing to commit, and they're her players, so she couldn't with either of them, and they're best friends, and it just is this big thing. But then they come together, so they end up having to talk it out, right? And they work out what they want, and the way they approach her, I will not tell you how they approach her, but they approach her together. They're like, look, we're going to do this together. Neither one of us has ever been with another woman, with another guy, but you're my best friend. Why not? Why can't we make this work? I know you better than anyone else. So they approach her together, and they like corner her in this very sexual way. And it's just, sorry, I hit my mic. But it's just so perfect.
Yes.
It was so good. So good. So this was probably my favorite one that I've read with the pregnancy trope. Surprise. Double the surprise. We don't know who.
Right. I love that.
It's a Mamma Mia situation.
Yeah. You do find out eventually because
whose it is
when they're born. Yes. Well, because one of them is black. So he grew up black playing ice hockey in Canada, and like that has its own part of the story. And so... Yeah. But yeah, it's so crazy. So they're like, well, we'll find out eventually. Right.
It's only going to go two ways here. Yeah. Okay. My next rec is actually going to be an Amy Dawes book, and it's from the series that I was telling you about. I think the series is called Wait for Me. But this book is One Moment, Please. They're all like weird names. Take a line, take a number, I don't know. But this one is One Moment, Please. And this is the third or fourth book in this series. It follows Lindsay, and I think Josh is the doctor, but she calls him Dr. Dick. So honestly, all I can think about is that his name is Dr. Dick, and not Dr. Dick for the appendage, Dr. Dick because he's an asshole. Okay? He is an absolute asshole. In a previous book, you see how they ended up having a one night stand, I think, in the book right before it, or there's a celebration, they end up having a one night stand. She leaves, then something happens to her, like a hinge date or some kind of blind date gone wrong. She ends up in the freaking ER. Ooh. Who else takes her in than Dr. Dick? So they now realize, oh, it's you, my one night stand, blah, blah, blah. And then he has to tell her, you're pregnant. Did you know you were pregnant? And then she has to say, well, that's crazy. It's probably yours. It is the wildest thing. It's the wildest thing. And then he has to decide, like, he is very much treating this as like a, whatever you want to do, I support you. But also, I'm going to be very standoffish. I'm going to give you what you need. I'll be there for what you need, but no emotions, no feelings, no togetherness. And she just kind of wants to keep her baby. She doesn't want to give up the baby. She doesn't want to lose the baby. Like, she wants to keep her baby. And that's the end of that. So that's her plan, right? Her own little person to love. But yeah, we see he moves her into his house, I think. And we see their relationship develop. I will say this, Amy Dawes has a very specific way of writing. It's very like comedy driven in the way her female main characters are snappy and everything. But this book deals with some heavy, like, you understand why Dr. Dick is the way he is, but it is so heartbreaking that it kind of sucks the air out of you once you find out what happened. Oh. It's really, and I hate saying that because you might think, oh, I only want to read a comedy. 95% of the book is a comedy. But that 5% that keeps you from understanding Dr. Dick, that's his trauma talking. And it was really intense. But I really enjoyed it. Again, Amy has this way of doing comedy with her books. They kind of all feel formulaic in a sense that you know how they're going to be funny, but it's all still very different. Her characters are different. And I love the way she weaves people in and out of her stories. You get glimpses of different characters from different spin-offs that she has. So yeah, she ends up pregnant. They have a baby, as you do in a pregnancy trope. But yeah, funny with a little bit of trauma. Just how we like it.
That's what every pregnancy seems to be.
Yeah, and right? You know, going down this list, I don't have not one just good pregnancy trope to give you. Like everything.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Because all trauma.
I feel like Ready or Not might be the sweetest. Yeah, nothing. Everybody's got a little bit of trauma.
My first rec was probably the sweetest. Those 3 little words. Like, granted, it came from a one night stand. It was very like funny and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I don't think Ready or Not.
There.
Mine has trauma.
All of them. Oh God. What's your next rec?
Okay, here we go.
Coming with the trauma.
In the Monsters episode, I think I recommended Stalked by the Kraken. This is the sequel, Hoarded by the Dragon by Lillian Lark. It's the same magical bathhouse series.
I remember loving that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
This one's great too. We see those characters come up again in this book, so I love that. But this book hits my favorite little mini trope, which is the breeding kink.
We love
it. It's a pretty big trope.
It's something in this one, let me tell you, because this is about Katarina, who's like part witch, part fae. She's a thief. She's trying to steal something from a dragon, right? And this dragon, Kalos, catches her, trying to steal something from his hoard. Never a good idea. Don't steal from a dragon. I don't know why she thought she could, but there you go. He's going to turn her over to the authorities. And you can't do that. But she senses that he's in heat. So she's like, how about I trade you a night for you to let me off the hook? And he's, okay, done. We find out he has 2 dicks within 20 pages.
Well, he's a dragon. Of course he does.
I beg your finest pardon?
2. And his first orgasm releases cum that takes away all your pain, so you can take the second one, which has the knot. And I'm just dying reading this. I love it. I'm just eating this up. I'm like, yes, give me that, and give me that one too. I want them both.
It's been quite a few episodes since we've gotten a graphic detail coming
Of a
and
body
going
part,
and from Christina. It's been
The
like
first one
since
is ribbed.
season 1,
I want
think.
that. It's ribbed. The second one has a knot. It's what every girl dreams of. A DP with magical cum. I mean, come on.
I would have to say I'm not one of the girls dreaming of it. I fear I am not one of the girls dreaming of it.
Oh, well, I am. Okay, anywho, so
She's literally just a girl.
She's just a girl. She's just a thief, and she's working for her.
Oh, I was talking about you.
Thievery. Oh, me, yes, I am. I'm just a DP girl. Anywho, so Katerina has the, what?
Right?
It's
oh man. Oh yeah, tell us about Katerina.
Katerina, she's got this magic necklace that stops you from getting pregnant. All the witches wear it, right? She didn't know she had to charge it every single year to keep its magic in it.
You know what?
Girl's off the birth control and she don't even know it.
You know, that tends to happen in real life too. So like, same Katerina, I feel
And
you,
like,
babe.
it's like those are like the girls who didn't listen to their doctors when they said you need to take this at the same time every day. And
every
they're like,
day,
it could be breakfast, it could be dinner, it could be like,
whatever you want.
Also, she's a bad witch. How do you forget to charge your gems? That's just
that's the trauma. She was born and lived in the human world until she was a teenager because her parents abandoned her. So she's new to this whole world.
Way to judge too soon.
I know, my God.
So insensitive.
Jesus. I'm sorry, Katerina. You are not a bad witch. You are a child of your circumstance. Sorry, girl. I would have forgotten too. My bad.
Anywho, and
she's
Kalos,
too busy with two
dragon.
dicks in her. It's from the same person.
Yeah, it's a lot, literally. It's a lot to handle, okay? You gotta double hand it. Anyways, Kalos, he doesn't think you can, as a dragon, get anybody other than a dragon pregnant, so he's not worried. Neither of them worried, so they're just fucking all night. He's breeding her. He's, pushing the cum back in, holding it with his hand. You're gonna take this. I'm gonna fill you
Wow, way to really spoil the whole plot.
I'm sorry.
Christina's
this is
really
all within the first
excited about
25 pages, okay? Anywho, she goes home. It was a magical night. I'm ready to forget it. Bam. What is in her? A dragonling. A little baby dragon. I don't fucking believe you.
Right.
As one does. I can't get a witch pregnant. It's never happened. And there hasn't been a dragon born in 100 years. Yeah, right. He's go find the real dad. And she passes out. And he's catching her. And he's, oh my God, I can feel it. It is my baby. I'm dramatically recreating the scene.
I can feel it.
I'm riveted. I'm here.
Yeah.
Exactly. She wakes up and she's, I don't want you. You don't believe me. It's the whole thing. He moves her into his mansion because he's a dragon with a horde and it's all gold everywhere. He's going to take care of her. She wants to love him because she's, I can have this family. I got trauma. I got a dead mate and a dead baby. It ain't happening, woman. That's a trauma dump, I'm telling you. Yeah. Anywho, we see their relationship grow. He learns to trust her. So much stuff happens. They go to the magical bathhouse and have amazing sex. DP again. He really loves butt plugs with her. So I will just leave it there, but it's pregnancy for sure. She got pregnant. It's great.
Wait, so when the baby comes out, is the baby half human, half witch? What's going on with the baby when the baby's born?
The baby can take on both forms.
Quarter fae, half dragon.
So the baby turns into the dragon form when dad's holding her and wants to eat meat, and then turns into the fae form and wants to nurse on her. It's so sweet.
That's actually so cute. I actually love that so much. Damn, that birth though. That birth was traumatizing. Huh?
Well, I feel like it would, because it was in the mother then, it was probably came out looking half fae and didn't turn into the dragon until...
Because dragons have babies through eggs. And this is the first time a dragon's ever been born from a live person because they didn't think this was ever possible. So it's definitely like no one knows what to expect. Yeah. So it's just, we're just learning along with them.
Not her starting history, like making history. Yeah, that's crazy. I love that for her.
I thought I was kind of going off script with my next one being omegaverse.
I'm sorry.
But I guess it's pretty tame.
I love that. I don't think I've read an omegaverse pregnancy trope.
Now, this is interesting. This is a little bit different than the situations we've talked about. I know. I thought of you. This is called Unexpected Delivery by Jillian West. This was the book that I quoted. West. So it starts with Arbor, who is 38 weeks pregnant. She is fleeing her volatile ex. Well, He's only X because she's fleeing him. So her boyfriend, they were together and, like abusive relationships or emotional, physical, any kind, like, you don't go into it thinking that's what it is. She had just lost her dad. She's, she didn't really have much. And so her ex kind of just had money and he gave her some security, but it kind of, he slowly put her into this place where she didn't have any money, ability to get out. And then she found herself pregnant and I don't even know how. I wasn't having heats, because she's an omega. Okay, just to be clear, Arbor is the omega. And in this world, omegas are actually pretty rare. It's not like one of those where they're all like even and alphas always find an omega and alphas are always in a pack. Like it's just kind of a little bit more scattered. She just waits this whole pregnancy. She waits for her chance to get out because I am not going to put my baby in this situation, right? She had this moment where if he's going to do this to me, I do not trust him not to do this to our child. She flees. She's 38 weeks. She was trying to save any bit she could by giving her money to a friend so that he couldn't find it. And her friend gave her this like beater car that she had. And so she drove from Arizona across all the way to Maine at 38 weeks pregnant to stay in like a family cabin that her friend had out in the middle of nowhere in Maine. It was like outside of a small town. And she ends up there, this place. I don't think her friend didn't realize how run down it was. It wasn't being maintained. So she's in this shit situation. She has next to nothing and she is ready to give birth.
Yeah.
When she goes into town to get her car looked at, she meets this mechanic who is a very handsome alpha, but she's not like looking at that, right? She's not like, she notices that he's really attractive and he smells good, but that's as far as it goes for her. But then you see from his POV, like he can't stop thinking about her. And the whole time he's wondering, like, where is her alpha? Where is this alpha? Where is her pack? This very pregnant woman who needs her car fixed. This car shouldn't even be running, right? And she doesn't have money to fix it. And he ends up taking on this as pro bono, even though he can't really afford to. And he's getting his buddies to help. And he's just pissed the whole time, right? Thinking about this poor Omega. And he's like, I'm not her alpha. I can't ask her these things. Anyways, a snowstorm hits. And of course, she's going into labor. And she goes into labor early. And she's by herself. She's like, do I stay out here by myself or do I try to go? So she tried to get out of there before it got too bad, right? And go to the hospital. And her car slid and she ended up in a ditch, right? Going into labor. And they have him and so this mechanic and his two pack mates who are twins. So the pack is this guy and twins who are very different. They're identical, but they are very different. And they're not the type of twins that are super close. So it's a really interesting, different dynamic. But they stop, see this car in the ditch, and Morris recognizes the car. And so they get out, they get her. One of the twins actually was a medic in the army. So he knows how to deliver a baby. Yeah. He has this training. They can't get, because of the roads, they can't necessarily get to the hospital. Everything is closed. They take her back to their house where he delivers the baby, and all three of them work together to deliver her baby.
Oh,
I know. So and this is the beginning of the book. I'm like going into it now that I'm telling it. It's so interesting. But they all feel this pull to her, like this. And so they had called 911, right? Finally, when the medics get there to bring her to the hospital, the baby is already born. But they feel this connection now to the baby too, and her like. It was such a moment, and for all three of them, and you see it from their different perspectives, and like the things that they're feeling, and the way they want to support, and the things. It's just so sweet. But then she doesn't want to give the hospital her real name. There's all this stuff. She doesn't have insurance. They realize she doesn't have insurance. And they don't know her full story yet, but they can tell something bad happened because they can see faded bruises and things. And so one of them claims her baby as his and says we're her pack and gives them the stuff. So insurance fraud. But they're instantly trying to take care of her, right?
Yeah.
And so they insist on her coming home with them afterwards and take care of her. And it's just like this evolution of of opening up to each other and caring for her, not just her, but also for the baby that they already feel responsible for.
Already.
Yeah. So, and like it was so different of a pregnancy trope. And the whole time also part of they're like having to tell themselves like, okay, you need to calm down. She doesn't need this from you, even though you want to see her go through all the stages of pregnancy, not just the end. Like they're already like, but it's just so sweet and helping her unravel her trauma and getting her to open up and in a very respectful way, a non-threatening way. And they just try to be that safe place for her.
I love that. I also love pregnancy trope books where the pregnancy happens early, like the delivery happens early. So you get to see the relationship with the baby, with whoever it is, whether it's the dad or like people who step up. I think that's one of my favorites too.
And it's hard. I
love that.
For me, it's hard to read. I don't like reading these books when she has a new baby or a young kid and you don't see any time with the kid or the baby. And they're doing all these things. And I'm like, no mom, especially new mom, is going to leave that much. And you see that in this book. You see her struggle, like in the postpartum, the first time she has to leave her baby, even just for an hour, right? Because we all remember that moment. Mine was to go to the grocery store. Like that struggle, that whole situation. So I enjoyed it.
I've read other Omegaverse by Gillian West, and she writes it really well. I really love it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'll have to read some Gillian West. I have a million other pregnancy trope books. I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I will say, I'll plug this one because y'all already know my top, like, God tier pregnancy trope book will have to be Out on a Limb by Hannah Bottom Young. Y'all, that is my ride or die pregnancy trope. Kara's Ready or Not was good and made me cry. Out on a Limb had me sobbing, tears, but also laughing really hard. Lots of trauma in that one as well, because, we apparently don't read just happy little pregnancies over here. What the hell? So, that's like my favorite. And then another one that also, surprise, has a lot of trauma is Reckless by Elsie Silver, which is a part of her Chestnut Springs series. So freaking good. The female main character is kind of a bitch, or everyone positions her as being a bitch because of her like background in the first book with her sister. Yeah, so you kind of know her as this like evil Dr. Bitch or something. But then she lets her hair down with a little young bull rider and ends up pregnant. He goes on tour. And then basically when baby girl is almost 1, essentially, realizes, wait a minute, she looks like me. And that's really, that's the situation. She did not tell him about the baby. I think it was part of not wanting to end his career, but also he was young. And also there were a lot of things. And this was her baby. She has trauma. She wanted to raise the baby. I think how she went about it was like terrible because she didn't tell him at all. She didn't give him a chance. And I feel like always give the chance. If they disappoint you, fine, but give the chance. Because he ended up missing. Trope. He ends up missing the entire pregnancy and months of his daughter's life, which, like, when he finds out that it's his daughter, it's heartbreaking to read that part. So, again, trauma. But that was also a good pregnancy book. Another one, quick mention, Awake at Dawn by Amelie Reese. It's book 2 in her series. It follows a girl who gets pregnant by her freaking boss. Like, Gemma, please. She gets pregnant by her boss, and then her brother's best friend needs somebody to babysit his dog. That's how these two get together. Okay? The boss wants nothing to do with her. The brother's best friend needs somebody to watch his dog. She moves in because also her apartment living situation's a mess. And he becomes like psychotic when it comes to take like golden retriever and Doberman energy over her pregnancy and being pregnant. Like he is very much hands-on as if he's the dad. He's reading books. He's taking notes. It's actually really sweet and really tender.
That was my favorite though, being pregnant with seeing Peyton. Like take all the notes and like read.
That's the best. I'm telling you. When they like step up and they're like, the baby's the size of a taco. Should you be bending that low? Like just weird information. Like what are you doing? So I do really I enjoy pregnancy trope. I don't know. I get why people hate it. I'm not going to say, no one should hate it. I get why people hate it because it can be rough and also not that good. Some of it is written very poorly. But I think the recs I gave y'all are good places to start.
But that's any trope. I just want to say, I guess I want to say, I don't necessarily feel the same as you. I don't understand why people hate, because I, have my own feelings towards a lot of them, but I still recognize that there are good books in it. And you can say that's not for you. You don't have to say it should not be in romance. Like those
Right.
people
Agreed.
who are that outspoken about it, just don't read it. It's not for you.
Right.
Take it off and just chill.
Yeah.
Take an edible and
Touch
zone
grass.
out for a bit.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you
Please.
noticed, but the world gets populated by pregnancy trope. You have friends because of pregnancy trope. You're alive
here.
because of pregnancy trope. Be so for real. It's in real life. It's in the books.
I think it's because it's women going through life. And even as women, we hate.
And people hate women.
see
Is
it.
that
Yeah. A lot of women hate women too.
So many women hate women, which also y'all touch grass for real.
Or reflect on that and think why you're feeling this way, because it's
most of the people reading and speaking out again are women reading romance and saying it doesn't belong. Like you said, there are so many genres of books out there. There are so many tropes. Like some of them have really bad books in them, absolutely, but there are also some beautiful gems, like Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, that you can really like enjoy and love. So just find what works for you. Find the version of pregnancy trope, like for you, Jordan, omegaverse, and and a throuple situation, or they were a cute little throuple. Find the
find your dragon babies.
Yeah, find your dragon with the double penetration in your AO3 Kylo Ren series. Like, there are options. Just find something that works for you. And that's me climbing.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Right. That is why we're here, to show you that there are so many different versions of pregnancy trope. And you might like one of these that we just told you. And if you do, go comment on the flyer for this episode and tell us what your favorite pregnancy trope book is. We'd love to hear it. And also see if we've read it.
Yeah. So thanks for listening to us
Dev
ramble
probably has.
about pregnancy trope. If you're looking for more romance recs, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Romance Rex Pod. You can find our favorite book recs from our episodes, as well as behind the scene content and event information if you're in the Pacific Northwest. Again, that's at Romance Rex Pod. So be sure to give us a follow, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
Don't get pregnant tonight.
Wrap it up.
Don't be silly. Wrap your